Good afternoon, everybody. It's Hunter Elliott, rangehot.com. Hope you all are doing well. This afternoon, I'm finalizing my review of the Coonan Compact 357 Magnum 1911 Browning high power kind of hybrid semi-automatic pistol. First thing I'm going to show you is the 6-round detachable box magazine is out. The slide is locked to the rear. I verified the chamber's empty, so we know the little gun is clear and safe to talk about. So if you've been watching Range Hot much at all, you'll notice that I've done several reviews for Coonan already. Their 357 Magnum full size, as well as their 357 full size with the factory comp, the 45 auto, and the 10mm. So I'm inherently familiar with the platform, but this little compact is somewhat of a different animal, so I felt like it warranted its own review. As all the other Coonan pistols, this one is made of 17.4 pH stainless steel, but now this pistol is finished in what Coonan has introduced as their Ion Bond Duracoat. Basically, it's just kind of a matte black finish. It gives the pistol a little bit more of a muted look over the stainless. If that's something you're into, now you've got a factory option from Coonan. Over the past 3.5 months and 350 rounds downrange, the finish and the gun has held up really well. It is a 4-inch bushingless bull barrel. The height on this pistol is 5.3 inches. The width is 1.3 inches. And the weight comes in at 39 ounces. So it does have a little bit of heft to it. The slide length on this gun is 6 3/4 inches. Why a 357 Magnum Compact? Well, that's a pretty good question. You do have 6 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber capacity, so with a similar size revolver, you are going to be running +1, +2 capacity over your revolver, and you do have the speed of reloading a semi-automatic handgun from a magazine versus trying to reload a cylinder on your revolver. So you do have, in my mind, a little bit of advantage over that, as well as, you know, with the reciprocating mass of the slide and the recoil spring, it does help tame that 357 Magnum recoil a little better than just your standard revolver, in my opinion. Now, I'm not dumping on revolvers. I'm a big fan of them, but personally, for me, I prefer a semi-automatic handgun for defensive carry over a revolver, for the reason stated: capacity, ease of reload, and that sort of stuff. So if you're familiar enough with the manual of arms of how to work and run a semi-automatic handgun, that would be my first choice. And there's no doubt that the 357 Magnum is a fine defensive cartridge as well as a hunting cartridge. So you do have the advantage of a tried and true handgun round already ready, so to speak. Now, with that said, you cannot shoot 38 special through this pistol. It will not reliably cycle 38 special. So that is one disadvantage you're going to have from this over your 357 Magnum revolver, but in my mind, that's still not a big deal. Took it out to 25 yards, shot it from a rest, carefully controlled, aimed, 3-shot groups, and it was right around a little bit better than 2 inches on average. Now, as always, there's going to be a chart on rangehot.com with the written article. It's going to have all those specifics as well as a lot more of the specifications and details. So if you're curious about that, you can just jump over to rangehot.com, read the article. Start here at the top. Standard 3-dot sights. This rear sight here is dovetailed into the slide, so it is drift adjustable. You got a little set screw here. The trigger broke clean. A little bit of take up. Just over 4 pounds with some over travel. You do have these nice aluminum stocks, and they are well textured, as well as the rear of this mainspring housing here is textured. Magazine catch is nicely serrated and worked exactly like it should. You've got your 1911 style thumb safety that snaps off and on with an audible click. The slide stop here worked exactly like it should, locking the slide back when the mag ran dry, but it is extended and nicely serrated, so it's easily to reload that pistol from a fresh mag from slide lock. You cannot load a fresh mag from slide lock with the slingshot method. There's just not enough throw in the gun, so you have to manually drop that slide stop to reload it. In my opinion, that's the way you should be loading a handgun from slide lock. Thumb that slide stop down. In my opinion, it's a whole lot faster, a better way to reload the gun. There is a reason John Browning machined that ledge on that slide stop, and they put grooves in it. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to come at me with muscle memory and gross versus fine motor skills and all that. Man, I hear you. I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory, because in my mind, anything when you're manipulating a handgun is going to be a fine motor skill, from swapping out the magazine, sweeping off the thumb safety, correctly manipulating the trigger. So I'm just not a fan of that slingshot method on any of my guns. So the fact that you can't do that with this pistol, to me, is a non-issue. As a traditional 1911 style grip safety, pretty generous beaver tail there, helps you get a deep purchase on the handgun to help mitigate some of that recoil. And then a skeletonized speed hammer. Now I want to talk about a few of the differences that makes this not really a 1911. This little gun does run a external extractor. It is not running a linked barrel. This is a linkless barrel system, as well as the pivoting trigger. So we do have some aspects of the Browning high power. Some people would call them improvements over the 1911. Some people would not. Me, I'm either way. I think it's fine. I'm a big fan of the 1911, but I also like the Coonan design. Variety is the spice of life, so why not enjoy all of it? Okay, y'all, so I've got it detail stripped, and while I was doing that, a couple things came to mind I'd like to touch on. You can see here on the receiver, I've got it all tore down. The grip area is a little bit wider in this dimension here, and that is to accommodate the 357 Magnum cartridge and the wider magazine, wider this way. Speaking of magazines, until you get them broke in well and lubricated, you're going to have to use this tool that Coonan sends with it, with a little keychain. It's got some hearing protection in there, which I suggest you use, because the little compact, she gets pretty loud. You just take this tool, insert it into the bottom of the follower, and you manually pull the follower down with your fingers, kind of like a lot of what you do 22 long rifle mags. That helps you get the mag loaded full until you get it broke in. Being it, like I said, it is a compact. It does run a full length guide rod, so you still got to have a little tool to take that down. Now, as I've shown many times in the past, a little staple works just fine. This is the linkless, bushingless bull barrel that I was talking about earlier, and I can see the radial lock and lug here on the top. It still looks to be pretty good shape. The edges are crisp. There's no cracking or peening. If I look in the bottom of the slide here on the mating surface, it's also still crisp. The edges are nice, so that tells me that the gun is timed correctly. While I've got it here, I just want to make note that this gun does not run any kind of firing pin safety. Hammer hooks here look pretty good. Everything is still sharp and crisp on them, as well as the mating surface on the sear is still in good shape. Disconnector looks good. A really nice kink in the plunger spring, and that's wonderful. The lug on the thumb safety. Now, I realize 350 some odd rounds ain't a lot of rounds down range, but if there was something bad wrong with the gun, if there was problems with it, they definitely would have cropped up. As always, there's going to be an article on rangehot.com with a lot more of the particulars, the dimensions, the specifics, and all that sort of stuff. This is always just a video overview, so jump over there to rangehot.com, read that if you're interested. Let me know what you think, good, bad, right, or wrong. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. So y'all, that is it. I'm going to put this little pistol back together and go take it easy. So as always, thank you so much for watching the videos, reading the articles. Let me know what you think. I appreciate that so much. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to seeing you at the range.